Hey y'all, welcome to the live. We have Terrane Hicks once again, and we're going to be talking about the divine feminine that has returned and how the witches are all remembering. And we have Terrane Hicks from the Occult College on YouTube. Y'all definitely give him a welcome. And we're going to start off by talking about how the divine feminine has definitely returned and how all the women are waking up and remembering their divine femininity and their power. So I'm gonna let Terrain start off
Yeah.
and say
All
something
right.
about what we're talking
What up, y'all? I gotta acknowledge your hat. I like the witch hat, by the way.
about.
Yeah. So basically, I was watching a couple documentaries on the witch inquisitions and the witch trials. And there's so many of them. And some of them are really good. And they said about 70 something thousand witches died for that period of witch trials and inquisitions. And when I was watching the documentaries, I'm watching all of the different ways that these witches were burned and hanged, and some of them were tortured and stuff like that. And all of that trauma, it have carried throughout these generations. And what we are witnessing now is a lot of those people from those bloodlines of witches are starting to wake up now in today's age. So, like, if we go on social media, it's like the coolest thing ever to be a witch. You got these social media trends like witch talk and all of that stuff.
Yep, I remember,
And
and that's when I used to be on. And
right,
when it got too popular, I was like, let me put a pause on this because, like, it I don't know, it's a good thing, I believe, but I
mm,
believe also. Since a lot of people have awoken and are embracing, something else besides religion, and I do believe that's a positive thing.
yeah. But what I found was fascinating when they were recounting like how the witch trials went. And I didn't notice until I researched this, but they said that most of the people that they were like burning were not witches, but some people actually were. And when the witch when the witches would be on trial, the witches would go in trance
Hmm.
and they start spazzing, and I didn't know that. So I thought that was interesting.
I
You
thought it
know,
too. A lot of people do that now too. When they're, faced with controversy, they start spazzing too. And I
you
tell you, they ain't spazzing for no reason.
and then as I did more research, um, a lot of the churches where they had the witch hangings,
Hmm.
a lot of those churches actually burnt down, and a lot of the priests that were responsible for burning the witches, they would get haunted by the witches that they burned, and the witches would come back like every day and haunt them. You know what I'm saying? Um, I also noticed like around this time, like the closer that we get to Halloween, that energy that energy of witch is like in your face and it's strong, but it's like every year it gets stronger and stronger,
Hmm.
right? So I know for a fact this holiday season from now and I'm gonna say until January, I know we're gonna see some very big witch like themes.
Hmm.
I can feel it, So yeah, this is the return of the divine feminine in the
I,
form of witch.
I believe that because, you always need a archetype. And the type of
Hmm.
archetype that gets the most attention and
Hmm.
who's feared
Hmm.
witch, with all the wicked stuff happening, with all the mainstream witchery, of course. Salem has become literally commercial. We have Wicked One, Wicked Two. We have, everybody on TikTok doing spells. It literally is that, like what you said.
Yeah, so witches loved, feared, but absolutely respected. Um, they say that witches are in 90 plus cultures.
Yeah. And
So I
men were also punished for witchcraft, not just women. There was a lot of men involved in those witch trials
yep, that
because
too.
they were either, in cahoots with the women, helping them, or they were, making sure that, a lot of the men and the women who were practicing or not practicing, they were feared because they knew more. And a lot of the times people were like, oh, that woman can't know more than a man, otherwise that's demons or witchcraft, because someone was actually more intelligent than someone who was less intelligent. That's how people thought about things.
Yeah, that's deep because a lot of, especially the ancient witches, they had more power than most medicine men,
Mhm.
most medicine women. They had a lot of more power than a lot of shaman. And a lot of the times, shaman would get a lot of their protective formulas from witches. They would work together, but like they would go to the witches and some of the covens to get protections.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't know that. A witch is a very, very powerful archetype.
Mhm. And I was reading on TikTok or one of them Instagram reels that they said it's scientifically proven now that women are like 5 to 8 times more intuitive than their male counterparts. So, of course, like in every story and every religion, you always have men going to like witches asking for insight because we are naturally connected to, cosmos and
Yeah.
spirit. And I think a lot of times people were afraid of certain things that women talked about because they ended up coming true, and that scared a lot of people. And so instead of embracing it and using it into their favor, they feared it and wanted to extinguish it.
And that's what the a return of divine feminine is about. In this era, is highlighting that,
Hmm.
right? This whole healer science, supernatural powers, intuition, psychic energy, that's a feminine art form. And that's going to be exposed now more than ever. So this is a dope time to be alive
Yeah.
or to be a witch.
Someone asked, how do they know if they're a witch?
I mean, there's so many different ways to know, but I think one of the things is m- I feel like all witches are very good diviners. I feel like that is the most consistent thing that every witch has, is that they got the talent of divination, whether it's tarot or what, they got it in them. It's in their blood. They could do it.
Hmm.
Witches are very psychic. They are born very psychic.
Hmm.
Um, I forgot there was like a skill. It was this Taoist spiritual system I was working with, and it had witches at like one of the highest skill of a type of divining.
Hmm.
So that's one of the ways, is that your psychic energy is intense. Another way is your sense of smell. Witches don't typically have good eyesight, right? Especially like if you look into the witch folklore, a lot of them are like partially blind, but they can smell everything. So like if you have a strong nose and you know you're very psychic, you may definitely have witch in you. So that's like some of the ways you might be able to tell.
Hmm. Hmm. And also, like, I like the term "if you know, you know," because like you're more sure of yourself. You don't doubt yourself as much because you have proven to yourself time after time, and now you are, like you said, confident in your skills as a diviner or a psychic. So I definitely feel like that's part of it too, like the confidence that comes with it.
I feel like most women have a inner witch inside, like this inner witch that you can unlock,
Hmm.
right? Yeah, so even in African science, witches are basically deities.
Hmm.
And they are amongst the oldest pieces of creation itself. That's one of the reasons that they're so feared, is because they can go to and fro realms so easily.
Hmm.
And a lot of, especially the male priesthoods, they cannot understand that, and they're very threatened by that. And that has been a thing for thousands of years, being threatened by this women who have these abilities and don't necessarily even need formal spiritual training.
Hmm. I mean, I believe that's true because, and a lot of times, like, I think women are also connected to, the spirit realm a little bit more, whether it's necromancy, any type of spirits, ancestors, whatever, whatever. I think we're more connected since we bring them to and from, since we bring them to the earth, or, we attract them in some way since we are connected to different, I would say, dimensions all at the same time. So I think we are more in tune as well to other beings or other entities as well. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, like another thing is that like the whole art of like going into trance and
Hmm.
mediumship,
Hmm.
it was in the old world, that was very rarely a male thing. Men did not do that like that. And if they did, it was very, very rare. But usually it was women who went into trance and were the mediums and all of that stuff.
Hmm.
But things have switched, I guess through the patriarchal system.
Yeah. So I think men focus more on science, alchemy, and things like that, when women focus more on intuition, nature, magic, and stuff like that. But they meet somewhere, you know. Um, and I believe that a lot of people that were really trying to figure out, the mystery behind the divine feminine energy and the divine feminine intuition, they probably embarked upon, a magical journey with science and, all that kind of stuff. And through the great work, that's, I think, how they figured it out and come to the, a lot of alchemists come to the conclusion, of what women and the divine feminine really truly is by going through that journey. And that's what I believe.
The
And
great work. I'm
yeah,
listening.
it's like an insider's look through inner work and understanding how everything operates.
I think I read Aleister Crowley talk about the great work. Are you talking about the same thing?
Yeah, I'm talking about alchemy. Uh,
Yeah.
Alchemy is basically self-realization and understanding everything in phases of, like, evolution, as far as evolving into your greatest self. And in order to do that, the masculine and the feminine archetypes in mind have to merge. And I think the male has to understand the female and the qualities and all the attributes and the things that they possess divinely in order to reach that, you know, highest point. So it's literally a man accepting what is instead of denying it, in my opinion. And understanding that your mind up to different levels of, thinking, and also allows you to see more and have more insight as well.
Yeah, that reminds me of like how Aleister Crowley and Madame Blavatsky would work together
Mm-hmm.
and respect each other as occultists and exchange secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
I was reading one of the alchemy books that also say that most alchemists, which were mostly men at the time, would always have a female counterpart
Yeah,
in order to complete the great work. So that's definitely something that's well known. They always have one because that is what is very necessary to understand themselves as well as her. Okay. So yeah, definitely something like if you ever look at the alchemical like depictions, it's always a merge of masculine and feminine and the understanding of both and blah 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 blah. You know.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. You said how someone says how is being a witch rewarding?
You know that question is so interesting to me. I think magic, right? I have a real passion for magic and the supernatural. And if you are a witch, all you gotta do is develop something you are born with,
Mm-hmm.
and you will be able to change. You will be able to affect your reality left and right. You'll be able to heal others, and if you do it right, I believe that you could truly want for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's very rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Very rewarding. You know, like there's a lot of magic that there's a lot of advanced magic that one will have a very hard time or won't tap into unless they have witch in them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's rewarding
Mm-hmm.
because you got access to more secrets.
Mm-hmm.
So
I also believe that witches aren't afraid to dive deep into what is looked down upon or what is feared. You know, they're not afraid to go into that darkness. They're not afraid of their the side of them that other people may shame or point the finger at. They embrace it 100%.
right.
They're balanced people and they don't just try to be one thing. They embrace all aspects of themselves and they work on bettering themselves and not you know, they're not going to like deny part of who they are.
And that itself is rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
That is liberating,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is are uninhibited.
Yep.
And that's freedom right there.
I know they're not people pleasers.
They're not people pleasers? Nah.
They're not people pleasers. They don't care. They're gonna do what they want, baby. So I do believe that they're not people pleasing. They say what they say.
I feel like witches are also very wise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like witches don't necessarily have easy lives, especially when they're younger.
Mm-hmm.
But from all of that pain comes a lot of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of wisdom.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of I feel like a lot of people who end up being witches are working in with magic. They had a lot of things, you know, when they were younger or that they went through that really opened their eyes to a level that most people haven't even opened their eyes to, or you know, as adults. They may have their eyes may have been open to something as a youth, and sometimes they can see so much further and see so many more, you know, details than most normal people because they've already experienced witnessing certain things. And some people have never had those experiences whatsoever. So
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And then there is a science, practice, religion. They say it's the oldest religion of all is, they say, is witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And this witchcraft is so respected that I believe that they was studying witchcraft in Yale University.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like that. I think they made it a actual course.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Yale that did that.
Yeah, I know that.
So that alone opens up so many different it's like that's going to go even into science.
Mm-hmm. They're starting to equate a lot of things that were explained in a simple fashion into science, quantum physics, and all of that stuff. Magic. That's why they called it magic science. You know, back in the old days, if you have read the Emerald Tablets or read about Thoth or Hermes, Hermes. Yeah. Um, so most of the stuff that they claim was magic was literal science that was just explained in simple terms so that people of that day could understand it in layman's terms. That's all it really is. So the whole thing around magic is the unknown. The whole thing around magic is embracing open-mindedness and understanding who you are and what you're capable of on many scales, on many levels. And I feel like most people have been told to put themselves in a box, and they have limited themselves to a certain amount of thinking that will not let them think outside of the box in order to even understand things on a certain level. So they never reach that understanding or that level of thinking because of things like religion. People were very powerful, and in order to keep them, at a certain level, they limited what they could, what they could study or what they could, read about, or what they should embrace and what they should not embrace.
Okay. I believe that practicing witchcraft can increase your money by like 70%.
Mm-hmm. A lot more than that.
Because you studying science,
Mm-hmm.
you're practicing science. It's part of your lifestyle.
You ever did a spell and the next day or the same day you got the results?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this, like I think when I was 19,
Mm-hmm.
I did a ritual and I got the result like an hour later.
Mm-hmm.
And that shot my confidence in doing rituals through the roof.
Mm-hmm. Which made you even
It
more.
was on after that. Yeah, it was on after that. And then I kept hitting success, but it was that I initially was successful with like one of my first rituals, and it was on after that.
It's like you get on that frequency and you can't get back off, and you're just gonna be good forever.
Yeah, and I'm happy that that started early on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because while I was still studying, I was practicing while still studying, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have all of the experience yet. But now you combine that with the experience, it's like magic is the way.
Mm-hmm. And also, okay, remember when we talked about New Orleans? When I was telling you about New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
you'll need to get some supplies from there and tell me what happened.
Okay.
Choose some supplies,
Yeah.
choose some ritual supplies from there, and tell me what
Yeah.
happened. You can even order online.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I think I told you when I visited there, I picked up a lot of supplies that I still actually have. And when I use those supplies, I get almost instant results. So you should pick you up some, see what happens.
All right. Bet I'm gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got a question though. Why is that? Is it all of the magic being practiced in that region?
It's the amplification of all the magic, all the energy, all it's like a portal, a place
Mm.
of place is a portal, multiple dimensional portal that's heavily steeped in magic for many, many, many generations, and it's by water. You know about that water, among so many other things. So there's lots of witches that go there. There's lots of witches that are charging the supplies and all the kind of stuff. And everyone who goes there, a lot of people literally are going on a quote unquote spiritual pilgrimage, a spiritual place to like find other like-minded people or to go and get their supplies and stuff. It's heavily steeped in magic, witchcraft, ancestors. There's that water energy, that hurricane energy, that you know, just a lot of it. Ghost, spirit, whatever. Just it's all there. And the supplies that have been sitting on the shelf or that have been made or created is absorbing that energy every day. And then when you get it, you got something very powerful.
So I want to ask you also, like, when you go there, do you feel like you're in another dimension?
Mm-hmm. When I go there,
I've heard that a lot.
It's a different feeling. People that live there have lived there all their lives, and they even feel stuff. So when you go, it's a whole different energy. It's not bad in my opinion. It's not heavy. It's rich. That's how I feel.
I like that.
Heavy because they never practice magic, or they don't know what that is. They don't know what that feeling is, but it's literally like thick. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's thick there with energy.
Yeah, that's somewhere that I need to go once a year.
If you go there, you go there every year. You're gonna be big.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. I'll probably do it before January. We see. Yeah.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah. A lot of witches out there.
A lot of witches.
Generational witches.
And they're just all in the street. They're just in the street. You can walk around and just run into them. Anyway, it's nice. You would like it. And even the churches, the Catholic churches there, it's like going in like all these altar candles are burning. They got the Novella candles, like Petitions Under Room. Even in all the Catholic churches, they be practicing magic. Like going into the public.
Yeah, I went to this witch festival a couple weeks ago, upstate New York, and everyone was dressed as witches, and it was like in the movies, and everybody, had their garb on. They were selling brooms and mojo bag, and it felt so like we was in the 1800s or something. It was so dope. But I know New Orleans is going to be like that on steroids.
Yeah. They have like if you look up like witch shops, occult shops, voodoo shops, you're gonna have like a whole list to go to in walking distance. Okay. Like you could walk, or I mean you could walk because everything is so close together. But you could literally walk to about 5 or 6 shops. And they all just so different,
Oh yeah. I gotta load up.
And they are like stocked. Oh, thank you for being a member. So you like my hat? Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just stocked up, and it's like some people are actually making and doing the stuff in the shops too at the same time.
Yeah, I like that. That's what they was doing at the festival. Man, I got a couple brooms. Whew. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I like them cinnamon brooms because they smell
Yeah.
them, and it brings in money. I
like
to keep those every year and get the little mini ones too. But like big brooms with the handles and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that the ones you got?
Yeah.
Real ones?
Yeah, the real ones. It's like I got one for like $200. It was real. It was so it looked nice too. Okay. Custom. Yeah, it was worth every cent.
Really?
And then
Somebody want to make me one.
the-
I'm gonna do my own.
yeah, I'm gonna start making them at the store, at the spiritual store. Yeah,
Really?
we're gonna put some things in there that are good for astral projection to give you that real witch night flight effect.
Because that's what it's for.
Yeah, we're gonna start making those next week. That's our next coven project. I got the coven working on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like the brooms. Because y'all
Yeah.
bought.
See, because last week I went on. Look, I got the cinnamon broom, the big one. I got the small one. I got the broom for the festival. I just went on a broom craze.
That broom is everywhere.
I
You know,
think it's the Halloween energy that got me into the brooms right now.
you know what that like? Did you ever really research broom?
Yeah,
It's
I did.
it's a plant.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh wow, it's a hidden that thing that's also hidden.
yeah,
So yeah, you should research the broom plant.
yeah.
But the astral travel, because like that's what people thought like witch's flight was. Like they were on a broom, but literally, the history behind it. I ain't got to say it here.
Hmm.
It was literally like, hallucinogens that
Yeah.
made you were traveling or astral traveling and you would see stuff and come back
Mhm.
with divine insight or whatever.
Yeah.
But they like that flying ointment.
Yeah.
They have like certain things that also help you to astral travel mixed
And
into it.
one of the things that they would have consistent in the hallucinations was covens of witches traveling together,
Mm-hmm.
like these shadowy figures flying. And that's what, yep. The ointment, the flying ointment. But that stuff was a lot of the ingredients to for those ointments now are kind of illegal.
Yeah.
So I suggest you don't make your own flying ointment because that stuff is dangerous. It could kill you if you don't know what you're doing.
When I was 13 or 14 years old, I found an old occult book, like witchcraft occult book, at the library that had the actual formula of the old school flying ointment. And I
Yeah.
was trying to find all them ingredients. I went to the witchcraft store and everything. I'm like,
They have it.
it was like
Nope. Wait.
legal. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's old. We don't do that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fine. Y'all got a substitute.
But this is part of the reason that witches are feared.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like the flying ointments, like that's highly illegal stuff.
Did you know that the first werewolves actually came about as well? There's a story about one of the first original werewolf stories starts off with an ointment being rubbed on, like two men would rub ointment on themselves in the middle of the forest, and they claimed to turn into wolves, and they would go do some crazy stuff among the villagers. And then when they turned back into men after the ointment wore off, then they would say, "Oh, I turned into a wolf, and that's why these things are dead." So that's also the root of the werewolf as well.
Yeah. So hallucinogenics and witchcraft and magic is the basis for a lot of the depictions of things like werewolves and shape shifting and all of that stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And sometimes people would see stuff that wasn't there because they was eating some mold and blaming it on witches and all this kind of stuff because people were ingesting or getting some type of hallucinogenic in their diet or in their skin. So half the stuff people were experiencing was not even real, but it was real to the level to them. But at the same time, people knew how to use things to their favor as well.
Yeah, a lot more people were organic as medicine men and women. So, back in those days, they could play around with those dangerous ointments and stuff and not hurt themselves, because there's probably like a witch doctor or something like that that would be able to guide you back there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we got witch talk.
It's like those AI playset videos. You know,
Yeah.
remember back in the day on YouTube, people used to have like real stuff happening.
Yeah.
You would see real rituals up on there, not no bottles and like incense and.
I miss those days, because you wasn't in, if you was like writing a book or making a video, you was a real practitioner, because the stuff wasn't cool yet.
Mm-hmm.
It was still taboo, you know, but now it's a trend. But before then, it was not hard to get authentic people from the craft, because if you was about it, you was really about it.
Yeah. You know, you would go in deep, not
Yeah.
just some little spell bottles with some wax burning on the top and a stamp. You would go in deep, like you was going in to create some stuff to do stuff for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going in.
And there, like, even the Facebook groups back there was so, they were so good
Mm-hmm.
as far as the quality of practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I miss those days sometimes.
What happened to them?
Oh, they all faded out.
The people were like, you know what, y'all can have it. Yeah, we done.
Yeah.
I think more of those. I think those type of practitioners are doing stuff behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. Now, now, you know, like some of the groups I started in, like
Mhm.
half of the practitioners in there make a lot of money now, because
Yep.
they was the real deal back there. So now they like launched their own businesses and did their own thing. But this was the first onset of like going online as a Facebook occult group and all of that stuff. The newer ones, they ain't got nothing on the original ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's so true because people back in the old days, they literally risked a lot of things by being in the open practicing magic. They risked a lot. They risked their jobs. They risked people finding out. They risked a lot of stuff. And still they did it and they taught it and they used examples and they had their own supplies and they were very hands-on. It wasn't just like, a 30-second video. It was literally probably an hour of the entire from A to B, or A to Z.
Yeah.
We're putting
And
in work.
then magic is illegal in a lot of countries still. I know people who got arrested in Dubai for having an Necronomicon, and they had to do a year in jail just for having the book. So we
Dang.
talk about people risking stuff like, yeah.
That was my ninth grade reading.
Yeah. And I think I know somebody else who got arrested in Jamaica for doing a spell on someone. And the police found their ritual book of them doing a spell, and they I forgot. I think they did like 3 months or something like that. But just for doing a spell on someone, they went to jail.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that explains a lot why a lot of people would pay to have stuff done because it's illegal in their own country. I remember when I used to work for clients, they'd be like, I can't tell nobody, I can't do this myself, so I want you to do it for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get.
Brittany asking where she can find an elephant with money stamps on it. She said,
Oh,
remember when you had one or something.
that's funny because I threw that thing away. I got that from a spiritual store in New Jersey somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how it looked, but it wasn't about nothing.
Okay.
Try a Botanica. You might find it in Botanica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you go to those and they have like a statue up and an altar up of like, you know, whoever they got up, because some of them are different. Do you leave offerings on it?
I don't typically. Um, yeah, I don't typically, but I'll
What
be
if
seeing the offering tray there.
what if it's someone you work with? Like what if it's one of the archetypes or whoever you work with?
Oh, I would do it. Yeah, I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it crossed my mind to do it, absolutely. I never thought to do it because, like, when I see it, at least up here, it's like the people who own the store are a little bit more private. Although they have it there, it look they got like an energy where they're a little bit more private about
Mm-hmm.
interacting with their deity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I was just wondering if that was like if people had certain things for or against doing those types of things.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no, I don't see an issue with it. I know that we're gonna bring some life-size statues from Brazil, and we're gonna have a thing where you could leave the offerings for the spirits. We're gonna get some 6-7 foot Eshu and Pombagira statues.
that's tall.
Yeah, we're going all the way to Brazil. We're gonna bring it all the way back from Brazil.
Okay.
So I can't wait. Yeah.
Bring them back personally or have them shipped?
We're gonna ship them. So
Okay.
we're gonna go purchase it there, and then we're gonna ship it from Brazil. Because it's cheaper, and I want to go see the statue myself. You know, I don't want to order something like that online. I want to go. I want to touch it myself. So I think we're supposed to be doing that in maybe 4 to 6 weeks from now.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't wait.
So what I've never been to Brazil. Thank you for being a member of SHERA. I've never been to Brazil before, but what's the energy like there? Since I told you about New Orleans. What's the energy like in Brazil?
Okay, so there's two sides. One is like Christian. The other side is like African spirituality. And, one side is like preppy. The other side is the hood. But what I love about the hood in Brazil is that every block there is a spiritual store. There's a botanica on every block, right? You could go on Google and you could type in Pombagira ritual, and then you could walk into a store and get a ritual done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like they got so many different statues and so many different local deities and stuff like that they work with, but there is a strong practice of magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
Do you feel like it's incorporated into their culture heavily in everything that they do, down to their like self-care, clothing, beauty?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. But like I said, it depends on where you live.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in a magical area, yes. But if you don't, then no. So it depends. But yeah, absolutely. Every single thing they do. I remember one of the things that stood out when I went to Brazil is I had my initiation beads on, and the police stopped me and started talking to me about the practice, and I was like, "Dang, you into this too, huh?" That was so cool to me because we don't have that out here.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I like that. That was hot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And like I like how different cultures infuse their spirituality into their everyday living. And
Yeah.
you don't really see that a lot in, in United States, unless you are a spiritual person and you are consciously doing that. But in a lot of different cultures and countries, their spirituality is literally infused into everything they do.
Yeah.
And in some places in the U.S., like but I like that. I admire that.
Yeah, yeah. I went to a parade. It was a SHERA parade, and that was so cool. Like it was like 30,000 people at this parade,
Mm-hmm.
and like every other person was going in and out of trance. That was hot. Yeah, yeah, and it was so normal to them too.
That's it. That would kind of remind me of being in one of them churches where people catch the Holy Spirit. Want to say one more time, and like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, you don't see that in the Catholic Church. You don't see that in the Episcopalian Church. You don't see that.
Yeah,
You see that in the churches where the spirituality is heavily, deeply rooted in other cultures. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's what they think it is.
Mm-hmm.
See that a lot of like voodoo, right?
Mm-hmm. And this parade went on.
Mm-hmm.
The parade was like 3 days long.
Mm-hmm. 3.
Everybody would go home and they come right back out. Like that was so cool because we don't got nothing like that in America. We don't got nothing like that.
Mm-mm.
You know.
So you into trance?
Oh yeah, yeah, all the time.
So
Yes.
what do you experience while you in a trance? Like what's
Very uncomfortable.
mm-hmm.
Right when my initiated spirit comes in, it could be very painful, especially on my neck,
Mm-hmm.
and my heart will beat very fast,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like you cannot breathe. You
Mm-hmm.
can, but it feels like that. And then my vision changes. It looks like something else is looking through my eyes, and my eyes get the color goes. All I can see is white and black.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's uncomfortable. Um, Over time, you learn how to navigate, but it's very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a
So
lot of training.
what do you get out of the experience?
Out of the experience as an initiated priest is pretty much that energy will come through me as a medium, and I'll have a message for a godchild or a client, something like that. And that message is like very direct because that spirit is immensely psychic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to know what the issue is and it's going to know what element to fix. Mm-hmm. So that's very rewarding for a priest to be able to be the catalyst for something like that.
Mm-hmm. I would say that I've never been in a trance, but I have been like in a channel, which is a little bit different. It's more like a flow of energy. In my opinion, it's like something just flowing through you, and you're just like, quote unquote, the instrument. And I feel like sometimes when you channel and you're just flowing, it's like another form of divining, channeling, da da da. So I've experienced that, but I don't think I've ever been in a quote unquote trance unless I was drunk.
Got you. See, one of the things about going in trance is a large part of you have to let go of control.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are not trying to do that. They want to hold on to a little bit of control. And if you're going into a trance, you have it. Something has completely taken over. And a lot of people don't like that.
So do you use alcohol to do that?
Say that again?
You use alcohol to do that?
Alcohol can help a lot. It's not necessary. So tobacco helps, alcohol helps. Mm-hmm. But you don't need any of those things. But yes, alcohol is a very good catalyst. Yes. Mm-hmm. Helps to loosen up the body so that you can give over control. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why they call spirits.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. Do you channel while you're like live while you're doing your live recordings?
Yep. A lot of
I,
times.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
And I think I told people before, like, you know, I think a lot of it is just when I really focus in, I become a channel. And a lot of the information and the stuff that's coming through is channeled because I allow, like, I'm one of those people that will say stuff. I'm not afraid. I'm not a people pleaser. And I think that's what those type of energies like. Someone
Mm,
who's not afraid to speak what they believe or what they want to say. Um, and I also feel like-minded, or people with like minds of the energies that they are channeling, going to attract more and more and more. Because like back in the old days, people used to eat mummies. They used to get articles from the deceased and thinking they were going to channel this person or that person from some of their DNA and all this kind of stuff. Like that's why when all these celebrities die, people like scramble to buy their stuff because they think they're going to get some type of energy from them so that they can channel, right? So I always
mhm.
tell them, like, you can channel a lot of things, a lot of people based on who you've come in contact with, what you have like physically, and stuff like that, because it's just the truth. Like a lot of people you can tap into that have, passed on, or that, just the essence of them, I believe.
Mm, mm,
Especially when I
yeah.
used to petition, you
Mm,
know, a lot of people pass away. I've understood like a lot of stuff on that level. And I've known a lot of people in my life, not a lot, but a few that have passed away that I feel like I definitely can channel and get some of their um, qualities and talents that I probably didn't really have before. You know what I'm saying?
and
Tap into it.
you you don't have to use any alcohol or anything.
Not really. I just start going. I like caffeine. I be drinking coffee.
Me too.
They like that, so that's good enough for me. And water.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I'll drink every like once in a while, like maybe once a month, but
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
okay.
Got you, got you, got you. Yeah, I feel like you channel when you go live because you be live for hours,
Oh yeah.
and I be like, how she do that?
I'm not even on a chair, I'm floating. Yeah. No, that's a joke, but yeah, I think so. I think so. I think my longest live ever was like 8+ hours, and I didn't even go to the bathroom. That was crazy.
8 hours.
8+ hours, like eight and some minutes. I didn't even go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
I
that live took place in my spiritual office with all my stuff. You know what I mean?
mm,
I've gone the longest in that office, in that room, because I have so much stuff in there.
mm,
Hmm.
okay. Yeah, that's a lot. Damn, that's a whole day.
I know.
That's somebody's whole work shift.
I know.
That mean they went to work, got off work, and you were still alive.
That's why I know it's a challenge. Literally,
Ah.
I keep going. Like there's no blank spaces in the line.
Oh, I got another question for you. Do
Hmm.
you have witches that walk with you?
Witches that walk me, like ancestral witches.
Yeah, or like guides?
Yeah, I have a lot of family members because half my family is from Louisiana and the other half is from Puerto Rico. So they practice that Santeria and that
Mm.
hoodoo on both sides.
Mm.
So I got a bunch of stuff up in there in that bloodline.
Aha. I
Hmm.
see. I see. Yeah, that's deep.
And you know, like when you get into like the islands, and you get into the Caribbean, and you get into the there's a lot of different magics that are combining together with all the different bloodlines. So I don't know, maybe that make it more radioactive or something.
Yeah, the Caribbean magic is untapped
Mm-hmm.
and very supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about supernatural at levels that people don't even know exist, as far as the amount of supernatural things that occur with those type of magics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the real deal. Hmm.
And a lot of people, you know, that's their culture. That's how they grew up. And that's just a part of every day.
Right, right.
Not like a big deal to some people.
Hmm.
Yes, that's what it is. And then like when you turn around and people are like, do you believe in this and do you believe in that and do you need to repent? It's like it's not even registering. You know what I mean? Like what are you talking about?
Yeah, I think that that the number Christianity is losing a lot of membership
Mhm.
fast.
And then people be like, so do you worship the devil? And I'd be like, I don't worship no man. The heck? So
You know, yeah.
like that's their op. Why would I worship your op? I don't even like
Uh, every time I go live, there's Christians that come on my channel and troll me,
mm-hmm.
and I tell them, "You're sinning for being on my channel because how did you find me?
Mm.
Like, because you're not even supposed to be watching this." And they troll me every day, telling me
They
I'm gonna repent.
they
I better
trying
repent.
to because deep down inside they've done something that they are trying to repent for, and repenting don't really work, so they're trying to get brownie points to get to heaven. You know,
They try-
that's true. That's the psychology behind it.
that makes sense. You know what?
Hmm.
Because it didn't make sense. I'm like, why am I wasting your time? But this makes sense.
Yeah, I say y'all get brownie points or something. That brownie points means if I go and harass someone to convert to Christianity, then I can get into heaven because they ain't got enough to do the tithe offering in the church. Broke, so
That makes sense.
that's
I'm
true.
going to roll with that because it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, what are y'all? Because we don't go over to their channels and start trolling them.
The
So it's
people,
like, what are y'all doing over here?
the people that go to church and got enough money to tithe and offer, and they're not worried about trolling. They didn't already pay for their brownie points. These people can't
They don't pay for
fight. They be counting. Look, I done trolled 50 times today. That should equal one sin. I tried to get him to come back. He ain't coming back. Do I get some brownie points? That's
Yeah,
how. That's all I feel like they're doing, trying to get brownie points.
that makes sense. Now I'm rolling with that because that's the only thing that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then they look. Someone put Jesus loves me. Everybody loves me. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
So in my practice in Kimbanda, we
Mm-hmm.
some of the spirits we work with are witches.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Maria Mulumbo. She's a witch.
I
And
like.
it's so cool to work with venerated witches
Mm-hmm.
because they come with the hat and all of that stuff. It's cool, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Very, very powerful, immensely protective. And this particular energy loves children, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But she has a very, very good, sharp sense of smell.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And removes hexes. But I like that I practice something that we have a legion of witches that we can work with, and they're venerated, and they all have walked the planet before.
Mm-hmm.
So they walked the planet between 200 to 300 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
which is not that far from now. So
Mm-hmm.
I like that human beings live whatever life, die, venerated, and they could come back and assist.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I believe a lot of witches have already done that as well. They've been here before.
Yeah.
They remember specifics. Like a lot of witches do remember their past lives in very vivid detail.
Yeah.
They have flashes of it.
Yeah. I speak to and I've done sessions with several people who have they've been burned at the witch trials,
Mm-hmm.
and or they go to sleep, they dream, and then they wake up with the burn marks and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or the marks of them being tied up. They wake up and they can still feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Several clients I've had have had those experiences.
Really?
Yeah, and then I would do like hypnotherapy to bring them back to the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of the things I've done. Haven't done that in a while, but that's some of the services I provide.
Mm-hmm. Some people go back way more like in ancient times too. There's some ancient witches out there as well that remember things from the ancient times. And those are the ones that like can tell you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people don't realize you can be a whole different, gender. You could have been a man, you could have been a woman. It don't even matter. You'll see yourself as whatever you were in some of those visions and flashbacks of your, past life. Because I know, like, especially when there's no explanation and they just keep repeating over and over, that was you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you keep seeing these flashes? Was that you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at the eyes of that individual in that vision? And sometimes
Right.
you are. And that's how a lot of people see their past lives, through visions and flashes.
True indeed.
And I think, like you said, if they want to go more into detail and into depth, they can do like the hypnosis thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I rewatched. I don't know if you watched it. I rewatched Stranger Things. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
The main character is a girl. Her
Mhm.
name, you would like it. I think you would. It takes place in the 80s. And
Okay.
there is a girl, and she's like in this government experiment, and they're trying to develop her psychic abilities, telekinesis, all that kind of stuff. And basically, she's a witch, and she can astral travel and see stuff and do remote traveling and all that stuff. And basically, you know what I'm saying? But they're using it, the scientific aspect of like those kids that were studied, in the 80s and the 70s, for governments to train as weapons and spies and like that. I think you would like it.
Okay, yeah, I definitely would like that.
So yeah, basically she has a lot of the abilities that witches have, or they've been training her to develop those like psychic skills and telekinesis and telepathy and all that kind of stuff. And then she breaks out of the facility. She's just a kid. So it goes from there. So I don't want to spoil everything if you haven't seen it, but yeah.
Yeah, please. All right. Yeah, I like that. Several people told me I need to watch Stranger Things, so I'm watching.
Yeah, if you like the 80s, you'll like it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna love it. I love the 80s. Do you currently have a witch's altar?
I got an altar. Mm-hmm. Sprinkle.
We're making we're making witches altars in the occult college right now.
What are y'all
Yeah. The branches, the dead branches. We're making the potions. Some of the broomsticks from like the oak trees and stuff like that. A witch doll, like a good quality witch doll, and we're gonna charge it with witch incantations from ancient grimoires.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're
Project.
working on that
That sounds
from
like a good.
now to October 31st. You said what?
I said that sounds like a good project.
Yeah, can't wait to see how it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're making a potion. We're making a couple witchy potions for night flight.
Oh, what you put in?
Yeah.
Well, you get all your details, but like, you got some good stuff to put in there.
Yeah, we got Blue Lotus for the travel, Mugwort, of course.
Of course. I do
Um,
that to put people to sleep. You just burn it.
Damiana.
Oh,
Yeah, really send you into that night flight.
okay.
Yeah.
So the branches, is there any significant to the oak?
Oak is one of the most consistent branches for witch branches, or the what need to be on a witch's altar.
Mm-hmm.
Oak is like one of the most consistent and most classical.
Mm-hmm. I think I have. I don't know if it's oak or what because I got it. It was driftwood actually from the ocean. So I don't know what kind of wood it is, but I'm thinking it has to be from somewhere in the Gulf, so whatever kind of tree. I have to identify. We have some driftwood, which is like I feel like it's very powerful as well.
Driftwood
From the ocean.
Okay.
I got charged with all that energy from the water.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You can even use it as a wand.
Yeah, because it's still alive and it's still have all the memory from all the energy in the water. Mm-hmm. That's the point of the branches, the dead branches.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things with dead branches and wood is that that piece of the tree, although it's dead, there's still life. And witch spirits, one of the secrets is that they have spirits that embody dead branches. So, yeah, you can definitely channel a witch through a dead branch or several. Very, very strong. The dead branch thing in the altar, like it'll bring witches to your altar like that. Yeah, you put the right herbs on that altar, and then now you got a whole portal.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, when I got that driftwood, I got it during the, what was it? Who's the last time? The black moon.
Oh, okay, this is recent.
Mm-hmm. So I got it recent. Because like when I go, when I go to the beach and stuff, when I go, during certain times, I'll be collecting stuff for those, those very reasons. I also got some water too.
Black moon water?
Mm-hmm. From the ocean. Ocean black moon water.
Oh, I think we was in totality for like 81 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that thing charged like crazy.
Yeah, I like to get like certain stuff. Like I even have someone got me some like holy water actually from a cathedral in Ireland, the St. Patrick's Cathedral. I also have that.
Okay.
So I got
Yeah, that's a great place to get holy water from. If you're gonna get holy water from anywhere, like a powerful cathedral. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have a St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York that's pretty charged up.
Mm-hmm. That's, I mean, they were saying like, it's one of my subscribers actually. They were going traveling and they asked me if I wanted anything. And they said they don't normally go to no churches, but they went and got that for me.
Okay, that's
St.
what's up.
Ireland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have you ever been to a cathedral?
Mm-hmm. I used to be Catholic when I was growing up.
Mm.
That's the closest thing to witchcraft anywhere in religion. So it was an easy transition.
Easy transition.
Yeah. This is literally the same thing almost.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school for like 8 years.
And you can see all the similarities.
Oh yeah, it's not hard to go right into magic from Catholicism or the knowledge of. It's not hard at all because straight magic, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. It's
You
literally
know what I'm saying?
recognized as religion.
But one of the things I always say that I appreciated about Catholic school was we had theology class.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned about all different religions and spiritualities. So it wasn't ignorant to everything else.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's they should have that everywhere.
They should.
And then in the Catholic school, the nuns lived at the top. And this was my first time being exposed to a coven because they had a nun coven. And that was interesting to like be interfaced with the knowledge of that when I was young.
They are a coven, aren't they?
Yeah.
I was a nun for Halloween one year.
For real.
The nun, like from the movie. I did the makeup. Yeah, like literally a coven. They all dress in black. They be chanting and going on and on. You know.
Yeah, the nuns that I was around, they prayed for 8 hours a day.
They was chanting.
They was up there. 8 hours a day. They prayed 8 hours a day. Some of them taught school and then went back to they nun work. They were pretty up there. They was connected to Mother Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
They was in her coven.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Called, I don't know if it's on Netflix or Prime, but it's called Grotesserie.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that.
I think you'll like it. It's called Grotesserie. It has Niecy Nash in it. You know who that is?
Yeah.
And it involves the Catholic Church. I'll just tell you, it's a common. You have you seen the movie Seven?
Yeah.
It's a combination of Seven, the Catholic Church, and a serial killer movie.
Okay.
It's a series called Grotesserie.
Okay. It's a series.
Yeah, it's like,
okay.
I know you'll like it.
Okay. All right.
It's on Disney Plus and Hulu.
All right. So Stranger Things, Grotesque.
Grotesserie.
Grotesserie, Stranger Things. We can homework. All right.
Yeah. Just
all right.
Those are my recommendations for the season.
Okay.
Someone asked, do nuns get paid?
Nah, they don't get paid, but they don't have to worry about a place to stay, and they don't have to pay for their food. If they're Catholic nun, I can't tell you about no other nuns.
If I were a nun, getting paid, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, who playing the lottery? Y'all want me to pray for y'all? $10. Give me your numbers. I'll
The
be
nuns are powerful though.
oh, thank you, K Dizzle Dot Spring. I'll be getting paid. I'm sorry. I'm not taking
None,
I'll be winking my eye, my finger on that one. Just like
them nuns, them nuns at the Vatican are very powerful. They do exorcisms and all of that.
yeah, I'll be one of them sister act nuns. I wouldn't be no real nun. I'll be the undercover nun, get my, get my dividends still. The church can collect funds, so can I.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm not a nun. Okay. Only on Halloween. Okay. No, for real though. Like, I know some of them nuns getting paid. I'm sorry. I know they are.
What they gonna do with the money?
I'm psychic. I can feel it. They get.
All right, but what are they gonna do with the money though?
To their family members or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. Because they can't do nothing with it.
They could save it when they decide to leave the church. They got good savings. I don't know. They go like, you know what? I got to leave my Aunt Ethel.
And you're supposed to be a nun for life. That's against the rules.
They can't help what happened in the family. Anyway, I know some of them nuns is not on the up and up. We ain't gonna. The priest ain't on the up and up. The nuns ain't on the up and up.
That's true.
So come on. Anyway, shout out to all the nuns. Somebody said they buy cars.
They buy cars.
You said they go out to eat and watch concerts and have fun. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so nuns are just witches that don't get paid. Sprinkle.
Nuns are witches that don't get paid and don't have intercourse. And don't drink.
Yeah. They're like the mirror of a witch.
Yeah. Right.
Unless they So what? I know a lot of them make stuff though. And the money goes to a fund. You know what I mean? Because I've been to some of them Catholic shops where they say, "Oh, fresh milled soap made by nuns."
Okay, got you.
I'm like, give me some of that soap. Or they make stuff and they sell it in the local shops. The money going somewhere. Mm-hmm. You said not the nuns in American Horror Story. Yeah. There are lots of movies about nuns becoming pregnant and doing all this kind of stuff.
I don't understand that because they signed up to not indulge in that. Yeah, I don't get that.
On purpose, sometimes it's just, I don't know if they agreed to it or not, but sometimes it's going on, or they change their mind, or in a moment of weakness or something. Because they do take a vow, and so do them priests, but they still be doing stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes with each other. You don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, not everything is. I think most people see nuns as perfect, and then they see priests as corruptible. But them nuns be bad too.
They be out here sinning.
Some of them. Mm-hmm.
One of the things I never understood. Well, I understand a little bit of it, but when I first started doing workings for people, I had a good amount of pastors paying me for work. I didn't get that at first. I get it now, but it's like this is so backwards. Like you're a pastor. Like, ain't this against the rules?
They're praying for that building fund increase.
Yeah, like they would want to, like increase their money or do work to like make their congregation larger, stuff like that. I thought that was interesting. And then, one pastor, he paid me do work to like get his wife back or whatever. And I'm like, this is not what y'all supposed to be doing. I don't get this.
He was praying about it, and the Lord told him to go find somebody to do a spell for him. That's what the Lord said, go seeketh elsewhere for answers on your journey.
Do have any Christians like paid you for work?
A lot of them. People pay me for work back in the day that lived in countries where it was definitely illegal to practice magic. A lot of people that were in the church, yes. So yeah, definitely. Like most people that would talk down about magic are the main ones that are paying for magic. So yeah, like if you have eyes and like you can see people's social media that you do things like that you do things for it, there'll be Bible scriptures every day, taking pictures of family, talking about bless you, and then cursing people behind your back. In somebody's DMs and stuff, and like talking about, can I buy a curse? But on social media, they're like, very good.
I wonder if magic will be even more normalized within the next 10 years. I think it will be. But it's going to be an interesting environment. It's going to be interesting to see that.
Yeah, I've noticed that, I have young daughters, and a lot of their friends and people that they go to school with don't identify as religious anymore. They identify as pagan or this or that. They're not doing religion. Even if their parents aren't that, they are choosing for themselves. So probably because of TikTok, which is good. You said you heard they selling spells on Etsy. They sure are.
Yes, they are. They definitely selling spells on Etsy.
That's where it all began. Sprinkle.
Spells, initiations, you name it, you could get it on Etsy.
If you
can get anything spiritual on that Etsy.
Yeah, when you say Etsy, that's what I think of first. Spells, potions, and witchcraft.
$20 from $20 to $20,000.
I got this on Etsy. But yeah, like you can buy anything on there.
Yeah.
I have like, you got an Etsy store, I got an Etsy store, so we know. Anyway.
I'm gonna go on Etsy right now. Give me a $20 spell.
Do you
money spell?
You need to go because I got commercials I can put in.
Yeah. Well, let's do this.
Okay, hold on. I don't even know what the for. Let me see. Most of them from my other channel. But I'll put one on for some roses since we both like roses.
Okay.
All right. You got 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
All right. I have a couple incantations from very, very old grimoires. One is 1,500 years ago old. The other one is like 3,500 years old. And they're incantations that increase your witch potency. So if you're interested, text me 917-605-1469. 917-605-1469. You would do the spells from Friday, that's tomorrow, until next Friday, which is Halloween. And it will increase your witchcraft and your psychic energy. So there you have it. 917-605-1469. Text me ASAP. That's all. And then Oudh is on sale for $44.44. Y'all know where to find. Y'all know where to get the Oudh. All right, that's all I got, Shera. Oh, well, I guess she's giving me one more minute. So you're back to the magic to increase your witchcraft. Anybody who has you feel like you got an inner witch in you, you know it, or you want to connect to your other witch guardians, that's what these spells would be good for. I can't hear you now.
I'm back.
Are you? Okay, there you is. There you are.
Okay. Are we on the right one? Hold on. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I heard you doing your little thing. Advertisement. Yeah. Definitely check out Terrane. I actually linked all your information, and I'm gonna link it again here. For those who didn't get it down, it's in the description and it's right here and pinned to
Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I was, about this is something I got from New Orleans. And it's like some spell incense. It's like you're familiar with this stuff.
Yeah.
Powder incense. Anyway, this one is to excite and entice those who love to come forth and respond. So anyone who is interested in you or likes you, if you burn this incense, supposedly, it's supposed to entice and excite those that are interested in you to come forth and respond.
Ooh,
so
I like that.
I was bored.
Yeah.
Look, I was bored. I lit some, and the very next day, okay, somebody was up in them DMs that I had not talked to in years. Talk about what's that? Like, why years? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, ooh, nothing. But I was, you know what? I just wanted to see if it was going to work and how fast it worked. And so I was like, you know what? Can't mess with this stuff from New Orleans. It worked too quick. Okay. And it wasn't just, it wasn't just anybody. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just some random. It was just, it was somebody that a lot of people probably wanted.
Yeah.
Thank you for introducing me to the Kybalion. I have been reading it and have completely changed my life. It aligns with the way I have always felt. Yeah, that's a good book. Have you read it? The Kybalion?
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Mm-hmm. And you can
read it. The Kybalion is a must for occultists.
Yeah, you can read it literally in one day.
Yeah,
not long, but it's full of knowledge and wisdom and like things that will like make your mind expand.
I read the Kybalion several times. Every time I would go back, I would unlock more from it. Like, that's one of those books you read and then read again like 6 months later. Because you process that information, and when you read it again, you see a whole other thing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Even when I pick it up now, just to like look through it briefly, I always see something new. You said not you was bored. I was going through some of my supplies and stuff, and I found it. So I was like, let me see if this stuff works. Real. And it do.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Maybe you should make some, or maybe y'all should make some type of potion that does something similar. I bet you.
Something like that, right?
Because I know a lot
Maybe
of
like,
people would want it.
I want to make like maybe like a dust,
Yeah.
something that you blow, and it attracts those type of people to you. Yes, I want something interact. I'm gonna make something interactive like that.
Make
Something we got to do a ritual with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Put my stuff in candles. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So yeah, you should make something interactive. I know a lot of people would definitely probably try it.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are y'all doing on Halloween?
We are waking up the witches. We're waking up the witches. So of course we're gonna do a coven ritual, and then for the occult college, we are gonna do night flight.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do several things at the altar, and we are gonna try to meet up.
May I suggest one thing?
Yes.
Absinthe. It's alcohol.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Also known as the green fairy.
Mm.
It has hallucinogenic properties in the alcohol as well. It's green, and you know what it is.
Yeah.
They do a lot of it in New Orleans, and
Yeah.
in the 2000s.
I didn't even think of this.
Yeah,
And I probably could order it from New Orleans, like you'd be saying.
You can get it from the liquor store.
Okay. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't think of this. This is a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Go to like a big brand liquor store. Don't go to one of them little ones because they ain't gonna have it. Go to like Specs or something and get you find absinthe.
Mm.
The one that I have, I don't remember the name of it, but the box looks like a Van Gogh painting.
Mm.
I think it's the actual artist Van Gogh on the box, and it's like all blurred, like you're hallucinating. So
I like that.
I have, and yeah, it's made of wormwood, and
okay, yeah. You know that was worm was one of the original witch broom parts of the flying ointments.
Get that because every Halloween I drink some.
Okay.
Every Halloween I drink some and have
so
is a dream.
So the coven, they are making their witch brooms now, and in person, everybody's gonna get their broom. They're gonna take a hallucinogenic, and we're gonna go flying. But we're gonna be on the brooms, so they're gonna be on the brooms. So yeah, this is gonna be their first time doing this. We're gonna make a double circle. Hey, oh man, might do a video. Gotta do a video of this one.
You gotta put some green screen behind it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why not? So yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
You know, that's why they always depicted those witches as naked, because they be getting hot and they have to take off their clothes because they be on them that's them hallucinogenics, and it probably make their body temperature rise. That's why they be naked.
That is a thing. And then witches had a lot of secret things under their dresses and inside their dresses.
We know
things that help. Yep.
It's not rated. It's not PG or PG-13. It's like rated R. RX. Is it impossible to get rid of intranquil spirits?
Oh, of course not.
Is it possible? It's possible.
Nah, it's very possible to get rid of them. Exorcism. Go to a real shaman. Go to Peru, see a shaman, do some ayahuasca or something. Intranquil spirits are very stubborn. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you gotta, like, if you have one that is in your home, sometimes you gotta move.
Mm. Yeah.
Sometimes moving, because they'll stay where that place is, but sometimes that's the issue. You gotta move.
Mm-hmm. Or get an exorcism.
Yeah, but like a real exorcism, not burning sage and.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so advice for someone who wants to start a business. I guess a spiritual business, since that's the business you're in.
Okay, so advice for someone who wants to start a business. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I remember starting my spiritual business, and I think my best friend told me, just do it. And I did that. But prior to me doing that, I was trying to plan and try to make it perfect, and like I just took that piece of advice and ran with it. And I was like, that was the best advice I ever got. So that's the advice I'm gonna give to you.
Mm-hmm. I agree, 100%. Don't overthink it, and once you get in there, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Make all the mistakes early too. And the only way you're gonna do that is if you just do it.
And start off small and then grow.
Yeah. But like if it's a spiritual business, because I do want to say this too, there are people who are not necessarily meant to have a spiritual business.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you have a real drive for this. And this is not just a money thing. Ain't nothing wrong with the money, but like make sure you are passionate about the spiritual service. That's like the biggest thing. There's a lot of people, they have the wrong impression. I see that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like they are chasing the money because they see that it can be a lot of money, but like they don't have enough of the drive for the actual spiritual practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing with spiritual business comes with a lot of training, refinement, practice, study. And like myself, I remember, already being successful in spiritual business and waking up early in the morning and reading, and every day still studying,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if that's something that if you're in that type of regiment, you'll do well.
Mm-hmm.
But don't jump into this and take a 6-week course and think that you're gonna have it figured out. You won't go anywhere fast.
I definitely believe that because that's what I used to do. Everywhere I went, I had books with me. I had a tote
Yeah.
bag, books, pens, notebooks. When I was in my car waiting for my kids to get out of school, I was reading. When I woke up in the morning, I was thinking about what I read last night or listening to an audio book while I get dressed for the day. Like every moment was study. And
Yeah.
because you have to stay sharp for what you're doing, and you have to stay knowledgeable, and you have to keep constantly expanding your mind and all that kind of stuff, because when people come to you for help, you got to have one solution.
Right. So, that's one thing I do every morning, still to this day, every single morning. When I wake up, first thing I do is study. I take maybe an hour and a half max, study, and then I start my day. But I thought nothing of it because it was part of my lifestyle.
Yeah, I've been doing that since I was in elementary school, so I ain't no different. I was doing that already.
Mm-hmm.
Just now you have a way to, earn money from doing what you enjoy.
Yeah. Make sure it's something you enjoy. Because if it's just something you're chasing money for, God, I know a lot of people who jump into this and they don't make no money at all.
Mm-mm.
I know a lot of people like that. And when they may ask me for advice, I tell them that they gotta go back into the classroom. They're not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the consistent thing I told people.
I think a lot of people confuse learning and studying with discipline, and no, it's passion. It's a hunger for knowledge, not an obligation. Like
Yeah.
that's natural. Like That's your
Yep.
hobby.
That's right.
That's your
Mhm.
hobby. If your hobby is learning and studying and magic, then naturally your hobby is going to start becoming a business.
That's right. That's right.
Because people are going to be like, well, you should get paid for that. Well, can I give you something for that? And they'll be like,
Mhm.
okay.
Yep.
Any
Mhm.
recommendations you have? Spell oils for success. Okay, so Terrane has an Etsy shop as well, where you sell spell work. You spell. I mean, so what is? And I don't know if I have your Etsy shop down here. I think it's the Oudh of SHERA. I think it is linked in the description bar.
Yep.
So Oudh of SHERA, GIRA.
Yep.
Okay, Oudh OUD on
Yep.
Etsy.
You go there and they could also text me, and I can link you to my other store, my Botanica. So just text my number 917-605-1469.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
I'll
text your number here again so they can find it.
and I'll link y'all to my
All right.
Botanica where they got the oils and all of that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, we both have little shops and stuff like that. And how do you like people that are interested in trying to do this as a business, what would you tell them before they just jump into it? Like you said, I definitely say you definitely must be passionate about it.
Yeah, be passionate, be legit, right?
Uh-huh.
So one of the things about my shop, my store in what else? The events that I hold, right? I don't advertise. Because I'm just that good. That I do not have to promote. I don't have to put a flyer out there. And if you're really good at what you do, people are going to find you. That's how you know you're supposed to be doing something. When you never had to advertise. So like, I remember when I launched my store, I didn't even announce that I was going to have a store until the day before. I didn't take 6 months to promote or nothing like that because it's me. And I have a good reputation because I've been so good with clients all these years. I knew the minute I announced that I have a store that the store will be successful right away. But the only way that you can get like that with your business is if you are really good at what you do. The only way you get like that is if you are studying, practicing, and this is truly your lifestyle. Right? So in a spiritual business, you have to be who you say you are. In other types of business, you can be a liar or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could say things that the customer likes just to get them to buy. That won't work here. So that's the main thing. You got to be real.
Yeah, you got to be real, and you got to make sure, in my opinion, you have to make sure that you are who you say you are.
Right. So if you are a medium, make sure that you are that. If you are a psychic, make sure that you are that. A lot of y'all, I know there's a lot of people that's into divination. One of the things I would recommend is learn many forms of divination for your personal development in it. Right? Like, yes, reading for people, that's one thing. But you can't read for people if you are not really good at reading for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So take time and learn that stuff. A lot of people, they learn and they go straight to reading for clients. And it's like, nah, didn't spend enough time.
You got to practice on people. I remember back in the day, they had them people on Facebook that would practice on people for free until they got better. You remember that?
Yeah.
Reading for you for free. I'm practicing.
Yeah.
And you can get free.
I recommend that. Practice for free.
Mm-hmm.
Get a
So,
lot of sessions under your belt, a lot of practice. Then when you do service for people, your success rate is 99.9%. That's what you want.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot. I know a lot of practitioners who they'll start off and their career will end quickly because every other person was not satisfied with their work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of the hardest things to get into to launch a career is being a reader.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least for the first 2 years, damn near everyone has to be satisfied with your reading.
Mm-hmm. True.
And if you don't hit that mark like that, your career will be very, very short-lived.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Yeah, I remember being a reader. That it was so much pressure for me because I didn't have a bad reputation where anyone would be like, well, he didn't read me well enough, and I wasn't satisfied with it. And every time I did a good reading, I felt the pressure of, damn, I can't mess this one up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I remember being on this streak where it's like every reading was perfect. And then I had this feeling like, you know what? I am going to exit early because I don't want this pressure no more. And I want my whole career to feel like I did every reading perfect. So when I got out of reading, that was it.
I got into a groove when I did readings. I knew it was going to be good
Yeah,
because
yeah,
doing that since I was 13 years old. So
yeah, yeah.
I was a teenager. So I already knew it was going to be good. And, you know, it just got better and better. Like I used to sell readings on Etsy and my reviews are still up from years and years ago. So like, people that pay for your services, they're the only ones that can actually leave reviews. You can't do anything. Strangers can't do anything. But only people that have paid for your services can review you on Etsy. So my
Mhm.
really good on Etsy for the years that I did my readings, and I never had like something that I just kept going. I told you the reason I stopped because
Mhm.
people were taking responsibility for themselves.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but anyway, okay. Miss Princess asked, "Why is the daylight savings time on the same day as the Day of the Dead? And can you add demon time to your sale?"
yeah. Yeah, I have no idea about daylight savings time and it being the same day. I think that's interesting.
Hmm.
And yes, I will add it on there right now.
It just happens
Um,
to fall on that day.
yeah. So yeah, Demon Time is $20. There you go. You're welcome.
Explain demon time, like that phrase, because a lot of people don't know what that means.
Oh, explain Demon Time?
Uh-huh.
Well, basically, I just came out with a theme like 2 years ago when I heard a lot of these rappers talk about Demon Time, Demon Time, Demon Time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this. And what I came up with was pretty much, like especially like after COVID, it's like this world is just like upside down. But we're entering a new spiritual revolution. And this new spiritual revolution, very obviously, things like contemporary religion is losing its power and its influence.
Mhm.
And shoot, because the true things that elevate us, they like to demonize it, right? Let's just call things demon time. And
It's like
when right, and when I ran with that theme, so many people jumped on it. It was like, yeah, this is what what I'm saying. Now it's a lot more people following me off of that because now they don't feel afraid to get into the occult because they're running into this thing that they were taught to fear.
Mhm.
Now they feel free. Now they feel uninhibited. Now they're studying things that they always, something innately told them to study. But now if somebody calls them a demon or this is demonic, it's like, yeah, that don't mean nothing to me.
Mhm.
So it was a way of helping people get past that that trigger.
Yeah,
You know what
somebody
I'm saying? And it worked.
yeah. Somebody called me diabolical yesterday and I said thank you.
Right. So that's where the demon child thing came from. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It's yeah, so many people thank me for it because the things that truly elevate us, people call demonic. For example, they say tarot is demonic, they say yoga is demonic, right? And it's like this stuff helps us elevate and it helps us become better human beings and it helps us make better decisions. So, yeah, you want to call it demonic? Yeah, it's demonic. All right, I'm still gonna practice it. And then once you shift to that, nobody can. Because I noticed that it's like people will get into something, but then like a family member or a close friend won't support it. And now that person now they're second guessing what they were going to get into.
Mhm.
So I helped them get over that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
You know why it's anybody's business what you be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I tell people on my other channel. Why you gotta tell everybody your business? If you gonna
Yeah.
do something, you ain't got to talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Your spirituality is between you and your spirit.
Exactly. People want
And
to
that's
announcement and tell everybody, I guess what
yeah.
I'm doing. No, shut
Yeah.
up.
And however that unfolds, nobody else should have anything to do with it or to say about it, especially for adults,
Mhm.
you know. Yeah.
And when people do something and they announce it to everyone, I don't think they're doing it for the right reason anyway.
I
Because if
agree.
you're doing it for attention, not for the reason that you're supposed to be doing it. If you got to tell everybody and their mama and announce what you finna do and how you finna change paths, and it's like you might as well just line up your next path to change to in 2 months from now.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
When you serious about something, don't nobody know until it's done.
That's right. Ashe.
Sprinkle.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
So yeah, like stop telling everybody stuff. As soon as you switch up, then they're gonna be like, "Well, I thought you was doing this, and I thought you were doing that. I guess it wasn't right." Like I see it, then they're gonna be like, "I told you." So, like, if you're really about something, you're not telling everybody.
Yeah, so I think the beginning of Gates of the Necronomicon, written by Simon, the beginning of the book talks about how the society, whatever the society does not agree with, is going to be deemed as insanity or insane or crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the society itself don't do a good job of thinking for itself.
Mm-hmm.
The society itself doesn't have reality figured out. So why would you care about what the society thinks? So that's how the book starts, and I like that whole analogy.
Yeah.
And it speaks about how the king of the society was usually dictating how the society should think.
You know a perfect example of that? You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Yeah.
Answers. Kanye and Sway.
Oh,
That's the same.
Sway was mad. He was mad at that interview. Boy, he was mad. Because it's like, how you gonna tell me how to do A, B, and C and you ain't done it?
Exactly.
Like
That's what I think.
you,
When people start fixing their mouth to say something and they haven't done anything but just heard what the next person said and didn't do. Like, You ain't got the answer, Sway.
You know, one of my personal biggest things is I tell people I don't allow anyone who does not make more money than me to give me any ounce of advice about money.
Mm-mm.
And they barely could give me any advice on life because I have my well-being more figured out than you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like big on that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You can listen out of kindness, but you're not really listening. You just
Nah,
oh, that's
no, because that would be backwards.
yeah. You just let them talk, basically.
Right.
They talking to themselves.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's how I feel about the society, right? Like, since when has society had a understanding of spirituality? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even treat each other well as a society.
Mm-hmm. But they preach to do this and do that, like treat this person with kindness, and then they treat you the opposite.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
You just think of well, okay, so what do you think about people that are looking into becoming a student of the occult? I don't need to have titles. You don't need to have a title unless you want one. But I think most people should just start off as students of the occult, you know, and then your path or, you know, whatever you're good at will reveal itself in natural talents that you already have. And then you can decide from there because sometimes people just label themselves something and they don't even fit the label. So I say
Yeah,
student of the occult and things will reveal themselves to you.
I like that. I like that. Um, I think the worst thing someone can do is listen to what people are suggesting that people should get into with spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever you are going to get into or whatever you're going to study, if you're not, if it's not pulling you, you're not going to be studying it for long anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It got to be pulling you to it. And the only way you get to that is you just be.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you drawn to, that's what you study. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not drawn to it, don't study it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, as far as being a student of the occult, one of the best things to do is research the prominent people that have studied the occult throughout history. And you'll see how wealthy they were, how successful they were, like brilliant scientists, psychologists, and all of that. And one of the consistent things that they were all very, very mature and had a lot of prestige and very well respected in society.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, kind of look at those people and you get a good snapshot of what you're going to be getting into
Yep.
with the occult.
Even if you look into quote unquote like a witch or a priestess, like the same thing goes with them. Like Marie Laveau, like she's a
Mhm.
highly respected, um, voodoo queen, the voodoo queen of New Orleans, and highly respected for the same reason. Like she studied the occult, she studied voodoo, she studied this, she studied that, and she knew stuff, and she did, lots of things for lots of people. However, she got her information, she got it, but she was, like highly respected, and it was the same type of thing back in that era. And same thing goes for alchemists, like you said, scientists, researchers, even like astrologers, astronomers, as far back as like just lots of different people were actually persecuted for saying that the earth revolved around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So they were burned for heresy, just for
Mm-hmm.
understanding science. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that are associated with the occult magic and stuff like that, they were just literally more advanced scientifically and just maybe explained it with different words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, And people don't really realize that until somebody can explain it to them scientifically with diagrams and models. But you know, not everybody has the capacity to understand such things, so they use simple terms that most people can use their imagination to understand.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
What I liked about Marie Laveau is slavery was not too far long ago. She was a black woman
Mm-hmm.
and very popular amongst black and white people. And white people get a lot of ritual from her, and black people. The police respect her. Everybody respected Marie Laveau. And she was able to conduct rituals. And I think her biggest ritual, 10,000 people showed up to the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't even, some of us can't even pull that off in the social media age.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very popular person.
Yeah, her name alone. I mean, you're in a very Catholic area, and her name alone resonates with so many things that most people would gravitate towards if they are Catholic. And she was
Mhm.
also a member of the Catholic Church, and she also practiced voodoo in the Catholic Church as
Mhm.
well. So, like, just her name alone would attract people from the church and from other parts, just her name alone. Because if you decode her
Yeah.
name or translate her name, you know, the Virgin Mary, the Mother Mary, and then Laveau means the voice. And so
Mhm.
it in Christian and Catholic um, you know, doctrine, it is said that when Mary asks Jesus for something, he delivers no matter what. That's why they pray to Hail Mary. So if you have a woman named Marie the Voice, Mary the Voice, that means your prayers will get heard or answered.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that's like another reason she was so popular because of her
Yep.
name. And names are very important too.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh, she helped a lot of people.
Hmm.
And, there's a lot of people practicing these religions or whatever, but they're not. A lot of them are not helping people. But she was of service to the people, and she helped a lot of people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And this is what they're preaching that people should be doing in religion, but you have a voodoo practitioner that was doing that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it don't matter how it get done as long as it get done. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to points like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like
Right.
we go to people's comments and say, magic is the way.
Mm-hmm.
We look
It's
stupid doing
doing it's getting the work done, and as Shera said, the great work. The great work. I remember that. Um, yeah, that's the that's where Western occultism has some substance.
it. Hmm.
The knowledge of the great work that work within, and as you establish and refine yourself within, then you will become a auspicious person to society because you're going to help your neighbor.
Hmm. Someone says
Hmm.
magic.
They said what?
What is magic?
Um, the oldest form of spirituality, right? Or the origin of spirituality. Magic is the ability to manipulate the reality, right? And there's different forms of it. There's earth-based stuff. There's like alchemical magic, right? So that's the premise of magic.
Hmm.
The
So,
practice of the supernatural.
hmm they don't see the demon time of your store. Which store you own?
Stores you won't.
Um, magic, aka magic science, is a way. I think magic is a way to understand something without knowing the science of it. If you know magic and science, you know both and how they are synonymous with each other. So basically, magic is explained to people that don't understand science, and science is explaining magic to people that understand science, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Demon Time is on it. So magic is explaining science, and science is explaining magic. So I'm seeing now the Western science is starting to acknowledge magic through quantum physics and quantum mechanics.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Quantum science, quantum physics is literally magic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, it makes sense in Western science.
Mm-hmm.
But what is to be understood about Western science is that's not the only version of science that exists. There is Eastern science, which magic is already incorporated and acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
Western science is very young. So now Western science is starting to slowly catch up in understanding to science that have been already observed in the East.
Mm-hmm. A lot of stories, literature, biblical text have magic ingrained into it through symbols and different words. If you know, you know. If you're
Right.
reading something, if you're reading something without the context of decoding it, you're only going to see the surface level of it. But when you understand what symbols are, certain things, you can understand the magic in what you're reading. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, because there was,
Like you were explaining stuff. Like people know the science and the magic behind that, but those who don't, they're just thinking of think you saying what you're saying.
right. So they were calling magic pseudo,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not doing that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They would just say, yeah, this is fake. This is fake, superstition, pseudo. But that's not happening like that anymore.
Right. Because it can be proven. And people have learned how to decode and stop looking at things as literal and start seeing the metaphor and the hidden information that's been sitting in front of their face the entire time.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yep.
So that's what magic is, just science explained in terms.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So, you have anything else to add, or you good?
That's it. Only thing I want to add, listen, Halloween is right around the corner. Get that witch ritual from me. Do something. This is the season of the witch. Everybody who feels compelled to tap into that energy, now is the time. Between now and October 31st, you can tap into some power, right, on the witch side of things. So I implore you all to jump in during this season. That's all.
Well, definitely, probably gonna talk to you before Halloween, but
Yeah.
Y'all go follow him. All his information is in the description bar. And thank you for joining us once again.
All right. Peace.
Bye.